Good morning, everyone. Let's try again. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
There we go. Good morning to everyone who's tuned into our live broadcast around the country. My name is Rob van der Bijl. I'm one of the executives here at DuePoint. I'm going to be spending the next 45, 50 minutes with you. We're going to go through who DuePoint is, what we're about, what the opportunity is all about, and after the presentation, you may then come speak to me and ask me any questions that you might have. Okay? So let's begin. As you can see, DuePoint is a division of another company called Constantia Insurance Company Limited. Constantia is a registered insurance company in South Africa. We were founded in 1952, so we've been around for a very long time. We don't share offices with Constantia, but they are just down the road from us here in Randburg. The FSP number that we operate under is that one over there. That's very important. That's our license to operate as a financial services provider. If you notice outside above the water cooler, you'll see we've got these certificates up on the wall. You can go find them on our website too, but those are our Financial Services Board licenses. So we've got an insurance license, our FSP license, a long and short-term insurance license, investment license. We've got our accreditation with the Direct Marketing and the Direct Selling Association, so go take a look at those. I need to be sure that our guests here this morning trust the business I'm going to be speaking about. Because if you don't trust the business we're going to be speaking about today, then we're really wasting our time. And so that's a fundamental step. Before we create any partnership, any collaboration, I want to be sure that you trust the business that we're going to be speaking about. So you're welcome to go do a background check on Constantia. We are listed on the Joburg Stock Exchange under a group called Conduit Capital. Make sure that you trust this business before you go any further. The managers and executives are these people up on screen. So the first three individuals, I don't know why we always start with these three, but they're the registered chartered accountants in the business, right? So they sound important. I guess I have to start with the more important people. Mr. Brendan Benfield is our senior executive. He heads up DuePoint. He's got a lot of experience in financial services, particularly in insurance, and I think probably due to the fact that his father has been involved in insurance all his life. So Brendan's father, Dr. Brian Benfield, is a professor of insurance. He taught at Wits for 25 years. He has founded a plethora of financial services businesses around the world, one of them being Clientele Life. He started Clientele Life all those years ago. He started the IFA. With his sons, so Brendan's got a brother Stuart, with his sons together they founded a business down the road called Prime Meridian Direct, or PMD, who are the fourth biggest short-term insurer in the space of less than 10 years. So they have got wonderful financial pedigree that they bring to this business. We're very lucky to have Mr. Benfield leading this division. Then we've got Tim and Stacey. Tim and Stacey look after all the important yet boring things at our business. Auditing, accounting, financial regulation, right? They take care of those aspects of our business, obviously extremely important aspects. And then myself and Jane are the non-accountants, the less important people. But Jane has got some tremendous experience that she brings to our business because she's actually from the UK. She's very experienced in network marketing or referral marketing, and she brings that experience to our team. And then myself, I think I'm just the good-looking person in the team. I'm kidding. I have been working in advertising for, over 20 years, I think. I'm starting to run out of years. I always think, now, how old am I? It's over 20 years. I've been working in advertising. I ran my own digital agency for about 15 years. We operated very much in the financial industry, so I've got quite a bit of financial experience from an advertising, from a marketing point of view. That is our team. We've got client service staff. We've got our admin staff. Our mandate as staff of DuePoint is to support you guys, to support everybody that joins us here at DuePoint. We want to see you successful. We want to see you profitable, right? Because as a business, we can only be profitable if the people helping us grow our business are being effective. And so everything that we do, from a personal point of view, from a business point of view, the money that we invest in technology is all geared to support you being successful here at DuePoint, right? So know that when you embark on this endeavor. Very quickly, let's discuss the economy. Let's not discuss the economy. Right? Shall we not discuss the economy this time? Right? Such a dismal, depressing subject. But we have to pay cognizance to the circumstance that we find ourselves in. So I'm not going to elaborate on it too much because I know everybody watching this presentation already know they have a problem, right, that we're trying to solve. We are tired of being told what we can earn. We're tired of not having stability from an income point of view. And what this presentation is about changing that circumstance. We want to get people out of debt firstly. We want to get rid of your debt firstly. You might not want to do that. You might just want to spend more. But I'm telling you, my aspiration is to get rid of debt for you as quickly as possible. Right? Debt is crippling people in this country. We have gone to the point of debt because of the economy and everything else that's happening in the country. It is going to get a lot worse when you get to retirement, I'm sorry to say. Right? The statistics we get about retirement are shocking. Even people that are working, when you get to retirement, 90% of people working, when they hit retirement, will have to survive on half their income. Imagine me taking half your income away from you right now. That's 90% of the population that it happens to, right? We need to change the circumstance. You have to decide by the end of this presentation whether you are going to be part of that 90% statistic or whether you're going to do something about it to change it. No one else can make that decision for you. As a business, we saw the opportunity to create what we call the DuePoint system. We launched the system just over 2 years ago for the average South African to engage in. We have aspirations in mind for people. I've already mentioned the first aspiration, for people to focus on getting rid of their debt as quickly as possible. Debt is crippling, right? How many people in this audience are going to pass debt on to their children one day when they die? Can I tell you statistically, majority of you will. We have to change that. Get rid of your debt while you're alive. Let's focus on that, right? Because getting rid of your debt empowers you to create wealth. Who would like to be wealthy? Three times, I'm in front of the queue. Right? We all want to be wealthy. Can you be wealthy? Can you become wealthy if you owe other people money? If you are debt-ridden, if you're in a debt cycle, can you create wealth? You cannot. Get rid of your debt. Then we create wealth. We create wealth through the ownership of assets and investments. Not through spending. Not through spending. Get rid of your debt, create wealth, then you can spend. Right? I was going to repeat something I heard this week, but it's a bit rude. I'll rephrase it. This guy said, if you ever listen to Gary Vaynerchuk, he's an amazing entrepreneur from America. I listen to him all the time. He produces content, like 3 videos a day. He's a content producing machine, but he's got a bit of a foul mouth. But basically he says, you eat dog food for 5 years so that you can eat caviar in the 6th year. That's what he said. Not exactly. More swear words. That's what we have to do. And this is what the business is about. I do not just want to generate income for the people in this business. I want people to start thinking differently about how to create wealth. Because if we think the same way about wealth as we do today, we're not going to change, right? Let us help you think differently about creating wealth. And those are the aspirations in this business, ultimately just to be happier. People have come to this presentation in Bryanston, turned on YouTube to watch this presentation because they've got hope in their hearts that what they hear today will change their circumstance. And I'm saying you're going to hear something today that's going to change your circumstance. But you have to make it happen. How does this business work? Our guests here this morning, you have the opportunity to join this business, this system called DuePoint. Once you contract with us, once you become what we call wealth engineers, your single task is to go out and connect other people to DuePoint. That's it. That's all you're tasked with. We call it building a channel of distribution. It's you going out and connecting people to DuePoint. That's all you have to do. If you are successful in that process, if you can introduce people to DuePoint that ultimately become wealth engineers and take out one of our products, that is that process being successful for you. And when you are successful at that process, you get to generate additional income. We will pay you a return at the end of every month. Not once-off income, we pay recurring income at DuePoint. Do you know what recurring income is? Most people refer to it as passive income. At DuePoint, we call it recurring income. But passive income sounds too passive. I like recurring income. It sounds a bit more, right? My father calls it the ability to make money while you're sleeping. I remembered this when I started giving the presentation. I remember my dad saying to me, you need to get involved in business that pays you while you're sleeping. Those words rang true in about year 10 of me running my business, because I realized only then, right? You only start thinking properly when you're out your 20s. I realized then that my business wasn't creating recurring income and that I was going to be working the way I was working then, 4 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock at night. I'm going to work like that for the rest of my life. You have to start investing wisely with your time. You can have a day job. The day job will pay your costs every month. If you want to be wealthy, you have to start investing in something that creates recurring income. This business will do that for you. You can do work in the days remaining in May. How many days do we have remaining in May? 10, 11? Right, 11? The 11 days remaining in May, you can do work that will pay you next month, the month after that, the month after that, the month after that, for the work that you did in May. It is exactly what does not happen when you earn a salary, because the work you do in May, you get paid for only at the end of May, nothing else. Even if you do overtime in May, your boss doesn't give you overtime, right? Not in this economy. And so recurring income is very important. The power of duplication. We've built what we call leverage, or the power of duplication, into our system. It is the opportunity for you to go out and find other people that you bring into this business that will collaborate with you, right? And you get rewarded for their collaboration. If you can find 10 other people to join you in this business and start doing exactly the same work you're doing, that is called leverage. Right? And in that example, where you've got 10 people doing what you're doing, that is 10 to 1 leverage. Your income can go up 10 times faster if you can find 10 effective people to do the same work you're doing. Right? And so leverage becomes extremely powerful in this business. I will show you real examples of wealth engineers using leverage in their systems to earn way more than just what their efforts should be giving them. The business is flexi time. You can decide when you want to do this business. That is a decision you make every single morning when you wake up. You can do it any time of the day, in any town in the country, right? So it becomes convenient. There's no startup capital in this business. We don't have boxes of product you have to buy. We don't have starter kits. We will never ask you for your life savings to invest into this business. We have designed the system to be as low cost as possible so that it becomes accessible to everybody, right? There's no qualifications or experience required. I don't care whether you have matric or whether you do. I don't care whether you have a degree or whether you don't. I don't care whether you have work experience or whether you don't. I don't care where you're from. I don't care who you are. I care in whether you have work ethic. Do you know what work ethic is? What is work ethic? My father also used to go on about work ethic, right? As a gold miner, you have to have work ethic, right? Because gold miners work hard. Any miner works hard. Work ethic is the ability to keep yourself accountable to a standard of working. If you want to change your life, you're going to have to earn it. It doesn't come on a platter. Build an asset. We have to change this. Build an asset doesn't sound like much. It has to say you get to build an asset that you own. Because the you own is the most important part of that benefit. Building this channel of distribution that pays out a recurring income, know that you have legal tender over it. That's legal speak for that you own it. It is an asset registered in your name, right? If you die, that asset gets passed on to your children. Who would like to pass wealth on to the next generation? See, I've got the leg up again. I beat all of you. I'm in the front of the queue for that one. What a legacy to be able to pass wealth on to the next generation. There's a thing called generational debt, where people pass debt on to the next generation. You need to break that, right? There's no selling involved. How many people thought they were going to be asked to sell something when they came to this presentation? How many guests are here? Put your hand up if you're a guest. A guest. Put your hands up, guests. There have to be more guests than wealth engineers. Otherwise, I'm going to shout at the wealth engineers at the end of the presentation. Right? Our guests. I'm going to tell you something. There's no selling involved in this business. You might be confused by that. Now you're thinking, what are we doing here now? You do not sell. You don't have to sell our products. You don't have to speak about our products. That is my job and Brendan's job. We will talk to people about our products. Your task is just to connect people to this business opportunity, right? When you think about DuePoint, you can split us in half. The product side of DuePoint, which is Constantia, and the business side of DuePoint, right? You only focus on the business side of DuePoint, which is connecting people to a business opportunity. If I split this room in half, into this room, I say, to this side of the room, I say, guys, I've got an insurance product for all of you. Come listen to a 1-hour presentation. How many people are going to come to that presentation? If I go to this side of the room, and I say to you guys, say, guys, I've got an income earning opportunity with a company that's been around for 70 years. They are heavily regulated. They're on the Joburg Stock Exchange. They can make recurring income for you. People are doing it already. Come listen to a presentation. How many people are going to come? All of you. That's what you're going to be doing. You're not talking about our products, you're talking about business opportunity. If you can connect people to that, that's all you have to do. That's where you'll find success. The nature of our products are financial in nature. A lot of our competitors are asking people to go out and talk about product and sell product that increases consumerism. Consumerism increases your cost of living. Cost of living increases your debt. In our business, our products are all financial in nature. They've got financial benefit. Right? They're either designed to protect your assets or your wealth, or to create investment for you, or to reduce your cost of living. We don't have boxes of product. Who brought a bucky today? Did anyone bring a bucky? Thinking, I'm going to kill it at this business. I'm taking home as many boxes of product as possible. And then you have a rough month, you forget about the product, and it expires in June. Now you're forcing your family members to buy product from you. We don't have those issues. Our products are designed to be convenient. But your success in this business is always going to be determined by your ability to build a channel of distribution. It begins with you. You become a wealth engineer, you take out one of our products, and you're going to go out and start doing exactly the same thing, exposing people to DuePoint. And if you're successful in that process, and in this example, we've got 5 people that joined DuePoint because of you and took out one of our products, that is the beginning of your channel of distribution that you own. This is your business that you own. From this point on, it takes on a life of its own, whether you like it or not. Right? Because these people that you connected to DuePoint are wanting to do the same thing. They're going to go out and tell other people about it. And suddenly your channel starts growing organically like this. You can potentially earn for every single dot that is on the screen, not once off, every single month, income will be paid into your account based on the size of your channel. We had one lady that joined this business when we launched it. She had amazing success. Within a few months, she was earning nearly 5,000 Rand a month. And one day, she decided not to come back to DuePoint. She gave us some excuse. It was an excuse. We found out the real reason later. But she walked away. Do you know how many products she's got in her channel today? 7,300. Do you think she gets paid anything at the end of the month? Nothing. We don't pay for people that don't do anything in our business. That is a rule that we have. My hope is that when you start building this channel of distribution, that you will be focused on bringing quality people into your business. Because if you can bring people into your business that collaborate with you, that do the same thing you're doing, that quality will filter into the rest of your channel, and you will build a quality, sustainable business that pays you every single month. An income that you can depend on, right? That's something that's inherent with insurance companies. I know today how much money we're going to be making next month because we create recurring income here at DuePoint. You can share in that benefit. Build a quality business. Don't bring desperate people that need money into the business. The entire country needs money. Bring people that you will know that will thrive in the business, that have the resources to do well in our business. You can't bring people into your business that become a burden to your business. Bring people that empower you into business, right? You'll be all much more successful. That is what a channel of distribution looks like. Now we're going to go to the opposite side, my disclaimer slide, because I'm sure people arrived to this presentation with a couple of, let's say, misconceptions. How many people, how many of the guests thought they were coming to a get-rich-quick scheme presentation? Just wink at me. You don't have to admit it. Which poses a bit of a conundrum, because if you ask anybody, are you willing to get rich slowly? How many people are going to say, yes, I'm willing to get rich slowly? If I had two choices, get rich quickly, get rich slowly, guess which one I'm going to take? The easy one, right? The quick one. Who wants to become a millionaire slowly? But we must have learnt from our experience in the past. Because anyone that professes to you that you can get rich quickly, do you think they're being sincere and honest? Because it doesn't exist. No one gets rich quickly. It doesn't exist. Even a lotto winner will lose that money in the next 24 months. All of it. They've done documentaries on it in the States and in Europe, where the lottos are massive. We are talking R1 billion lotteries. And we get these people that win it overnight and are suddenly billionaires. Within 2 years, they broke. You can't keep what you didn't earn. And so in our business at DuePoint, if you see myself and Brendan up on stage, you will never hear out our mouths that you can be successful quickly or easily. Doesn't mean the business isn't simple. The business is simple. It doesn't mean it's easy. And my disclaimer to you is, set yourselves up with the mindset that what I talk about today, if you really want it, you're willing to work for it. Because we're going to get to a slide that says decision time, where I don't let you out the office until you decided. I'm joking. Right? There's a decision slide, and that's the decision. The decision is whether you're going to be willing to work for it, not whether you want it or not. So that's what we invite you to. True entrepreneurial opportunity. Does anyone know an entrepreneur that's had it easy? That's difficult. If you scratch the surface, from the outside it might look easy, but if you scratch the surface, it's someone that's probably worked their butts off, right? Who have sacrificed. That's what we invite you to. It depends whether you want it or not. Let's talk about our products. So here's where we talk about our products. We've got 3 products. Like I said before, they're all financial in nature. Our first product is our investment product. It's called Access Wealth. It's going to cost you 324 Rand a month, of which 100 Rand will be invested into a tax-free investment fund every month. And on top of that, we give you 120,000 Rands worth of personal accident cover. So while you're building this 100 Rand investment, so that's the minimum, you can actually bump the investment up to 2,500 Rand a month if you want to take full advantage of tax-free legislation. But as a minimum, 100 Rand is getting invested every month. On top of that, you have that insurance. If you're killed in a car accident, we pay out your beneficiaries 120,000 Rand plus whatever's in the investment. There's no notice on the investment. You can draw out your investment at any time. Takes us about a week to process, right? So this is product number 1, the investment, Access Wealth. Product number 2 is called Wealth Guard. Wealth Guard is designed to protect your assets for your family's sake. So it's insurance. It's 249 Rand a month, but this time you get 1 million Rands worth of personal accident cover. Now, I have to quickly tell you that personal accident cover is not the same as funeral or life insurance. So you might be thinking, well, what's the difference? Personal accident cover doesn't pay you out in the event of death through illness or natural causes. It only pays out in the event of you dying in an accident. So you might be thinking, well, that's terrible, right? I want the full-blown stuff. Let me tell you, the beauty of this product is that I can offer this product to anyone over the age of 18. Those other products look at your health risk. They want to know how old you are. Are you diabetic? Are you overweight? Do you have heart problems? You've got cancer in the family? Oh, no. This premium's for the healthy young people. That's what they'll tell you. For you, it's 1,250 Rand, right? And so we don't discriminate. This product doesn't discriminate you from an age or a health perspective. I can offer this product to everyone. The premium remains the same. The amount of cover that you receive remains the same, right? So that's our Wealth Guard product. It's insurance. Wealth Points. Now, Wealth Points is designed to bring down your cost of living every month. So it's going to cost you 299 Rand a month, and we've gone and negotiated discounts with a list of companies that you see there, right? And the list of companies there pretty much cover the majority of cost of living expenses, because we've got groceries, we've got online retailers, we've got data, we've got car manufacturers, we've got restaurants, we've got hotels, we've got pretty much everything's covered. We've negotiated discounts with every one of these companies. Example, you want to go buy data from Always On, 100 Rand will get you 1 gig of data. But if you're a Wealth Points member, they'll only charge you 37 Rand, right? With ShopRite Checkers, you get 2.5% off your entire trolley every time you go shop there. So the discounts vary with each of the partners that we have. And we are adding new partners to this business. We are working on one that you are going to love. It is going to be the best partner that we add. But I'm working hard on it, right? I'm working on it for you guys to bring that cost of living expense down so we can pay our debt off even faster. This is Wealth Points. For immediate benefit, Wealth Points is your product. $2.99 every month. If you have any questions around our products, come speak to me afterwards. All right, so what separates us from other businesses? What is the difference? How are we able to pay people as well as run this insurance business? It is because of our business model. Typical insurance companies and financial services providers spend a lot of money on marketing and advertising. We're exposed to that advertising all the time. It's a pain in the bum, isn't it? You turn on the radio, you hear insurance ads. You get called by strangers trying to sell you insurance. Constantly, right? Ads all the time. It is a huge portion of an insurance company's budget going forward is to spend money on marketing and advertising. At DuePoint, we don't spend a cent on marketing and advertising. We don't have a line item in our managed accounts that says marketing and advertising. We don't. But we've got a line item called Pay the Wealth Engineers, right? So we don't have to spend the billions on marketing that other companies do. We can take that portion of our budget, attribute it to the work that our wealth engineers are doing, and we pay you in the form of what we call our returns and our rewards program. So those are the two ways to benefit as a wealth engineer: the returns program and the rewards program. We're going to discuss the returns program. This is the primary program. This is the one you want to be focused on because this is the recurring income that you earn every single month. We pay out a base return fee of 27.50 Rand for every product that you have in your channel. Remember that slide with all the dots on? Imagine getting paid 27.50 Rand for every single dot you see on the screen every single month going forward for the rest of your life. That's basically how it works, right? But what we've done is we pay you depending on where that product lies in relation to you. So the first 5 people that you introduce to DuePoint, we actually pay you double the 27.50 Rand. You get paid 55 Rand for every single product on your first point every single month. And as your channel starts to grow on the second point, again, you get paid 55 Rand. And then on the third point, the multiplier drops back down to that 27.50 Rand. And as your channel starts to grow further and further and further outward, the multiplier starts to drop steadily all the way to 4% at 0.8. But what's important to note is that from 0.8 onwards, you can still earn. We still pay out the 4% from 0.8 in theory to infinity. We've got wealth engineers beyond 0.30 in their businesses, and that's in the space of 24 months. You can earn on every single point in this business. We don't limit you on how big your channel can get. We don't limit you on how much money you can earn at DuePoint. There are no year modes. There's no cutting of income. None of that, right? You can earn to the full extent of the work that you do here at DuePoint. The next question that we get is, well, how much do people earn here at DuePoint? Is this business worth my time? So what we did when we launched the business was we created this path to success. Right? Because we didn't have any wealth engineers when we launched the business. So we had a lot of experience in this type of industry, and what we did was we built this projection based on a growth model. The growth model assumes that in your first month you can bring 3 people into the business, and every consecutive month thereafter you only have to bring in 2. Right? Who can introduce 2 people once a month to the business? 3 of you. Okay, we're going to have 3 millionaires in the business in 5 years. The rest of you are going to have to compromise. Right, I don't think it's onerous. 2 people every month. That's all you have to do. 1 person every 2 weeks, you connect to the business. If you can do that, you can expect these kind of numbers. After 6 months, you could be earning about 2,500 Rand a month. Now, who's disappointed? They're thinking, I should have gone to that other meeting in Alberton where they were having the get-rich-quick scheme. Why did I come to Bryanston? Don't worry, it was my same impression. When I saw this, I said to Brendan, How can we offer people 2,500 rand after 6 months of work? Shouldn't we offer a bigger example, right? Because 2,500 rand doesn't sound like a lot of money. The mistake I make constantly is that I give money the value of its spending power. I give money the value of its spending power. Imagine this morning was everybody's lucky presentation, and we decided to stick 2,500 rand under everyone's seat. Actually, there is 2,500 rand on the sheet. Just look, feel there. I'm looking for the desperate people. Just checking, you never know, right? How long will that 2,500 rand last you? You walk out of here with 2,500 rand. How long is it going to last? Be honest. 30 minutes. Where are you going? Straight to the pub. Right? Because traditionally, and actually no fault of ours, our economy is broken. When you hear about economists telling, giving these interviews saying, oh no, people have to start spending more, we need to boost consumerism in the country, that's not going to solve our problems. That's going to make our problems worse. One of the biggest grocery stores is now giving food on credit. Last month they hit R1 billion in exposure. In less than a year, they've got R1 billion exposure to people that they're allowing to buy food on credit. We make the mistake of giving money the value in terms of spending power. If I say 2,500 rand, I know exactly, because I do it constantly. I know exactly what I can spend 2,500 rand on, right? I can spend it in 30 minutes. If you are trying to create wealth, if you are trying to change your life and start working towards becoming wealthy, do you look at 2,500 rand and think, how can I spend it? Or should you be looking at the 2,500 rand and going, how can I get that money to work for me? Because that's what the banks do to us, right? They go, look at all this money we've got. Maybe we can offer it to people and make even more money on the money that we've got. Here's an example of someone with debt. They've got R1 million bond with the bank. They owe that bank R1 million for property that they've just financed. That bond term, so that contract term is typically 20 years, right? When you go for a bond. They say, okay, take your time, the bank says. Take your time. Take 20 years, not a problem. And you go, great. I can buy a bigger house if I pay it off over 20 years, right? And so typically people will go look for the most expensive house they can afford on a 20-year bond. And then they take the whole 20 years to pay it off. But in our economy, odds are you're going to get retrenched in those 20 years and you're not going to be able to pay that bond off, right? Well, that's another discussion. So you've got the R1 million bond. At prime +2, you're paying back the bank 11,500 rand a month for that house. You're going to be doing that for 20 years. In your 20th year, the 12th month, you're going to make your final 11,500 rand payment. And for the first time in your life, you'll become a homeowner. The first time in your life, you now have an asset instead of a liability, right? That's only 20 years' time. You join DuePoint, and 6 months later, you're earning 2,500 rand, and you say, oh, that's not really a lot of money. But then you remember Rob saying, don't think like a consumer. Pay your debt off. Why would you want to pay your debt off? What is the advantage of paying your house off faster? Do you know what the advantage is? Is that you are charged less interest. Do you know how much interest you charged on a 20-year bond? 2.5 times the value of the asset. If you put that little 20% extra into your bond payment, it'll reduce your bond by nearly 50%. You can pay that house off in 11.5 years. It saves you nearly 1 million rand in interest payments back to the bank. You are barely getting started. At month 12, you're earning in excess of 100,000 rand a month. Who would like a 100,000 rand check written out to them every single year just before Christmas? Quickly, if you can still go back to those bad memories, think back to December and January that we just had. Imagine having an extra 100,000 rand in your back pocket. 12 months of work, right? We keep going. At month 24, you're at nearly 30,000 a month. If you work consistently in this business, if you keep yourself accountable every single week of just bringing one person to this business, right? 2 people a month, that's where it can get you. At month 36, 3 years from today, you're earning nearly 50,000 Rand a month. Here's an example I love. At month 30, I'm 40 by the way, 41. At month 30, you could be earning 36,000 Rand. If you put 36,000 Rand as an additional payment into a bond on a 5 million Rand house, you can pay that 5 million Rand house off in less than 7 years. Right? But for me, what I'm going to struggle with is if I suddenly have 36,000 Rand extra in my back pocket, I'm going to buy a Porsche instead of pay my house off. Who's with me on that? Right? It's a Porsche, man. And your friends know you're successful if you're paying your bond off faster. Still driving a Polo. You carry the bond statement in your pocket. You say, actually, I'm very successful. Look, I'm paying my bond off faster. We laugh. That's the decision we make all the time. It's nice to have stuff, like to look good, especially at my age at 40. I thought I would be more successful at the age of 40. But if I engage in this responsibly, if I do make that boring decision to pay my bond off faster, at the age of 47, I could be the homeowner of a 5 million Rand house, paid off. Now I've paid my debt off, I can start investing in my wealth, right? I do that through the ownership of assets. So I decide, well, property is a good investment. Let me buy another 5 million Rand house. And I paid that off 7 years later at the age of 54. And 7 years after that, I've paid off my third 5 million Rand house at the age of 61. And Brendan says to me, we don't need you anymore. We've got a robot doing the presentations now in 21 years' time. And I retire. But I retire to a house that I paid 14 years ago. And I've got 2 properties that I'm renting out for 60,000, 70,000 Rand a month in passive income. Plus what DuePoint's paying me in 21 years' time. I hope your imagination's now starting to run wild. Because if you want change in your life, it starts with doubt. But you have to push the doubt aside and create belief. And the belief will inspire you to change your circumstance. And that will inspire you to take action every day. When you wake up in the morning, you decide you're going to build this business that you own. We keep going. At month 48, you had nearly 70,000 Rand a month. Now tell me honestly when the number gets too big and you can't relate to it. You think, that's never possible. 70,000 a month extra over and above your salary. Who's still going to be working their day job if they're earning 70,000 a month? No one. You already moved on. How many people would love to tell their boss what they really think about them? I don't think Brendan's watching. Wouldn't that be liberating? Oh, that would be so liberating. At month 60, 5 years from today, if you don't have a 5-year plan, right? Only very responsible accountants have 5-year plans. But for you now, I'm offering you a 5-year plan. Because at month 60, you could be earning about R1 million in additional recurring income annually. An extra R1 million a year. Now replace that little 100,000 Rand check at month 12, replace it with a R1 million check. Quickly imagine what your life will be like with an extra R1 million in your back pocket once a year. And you must keep your day job. You must. Because when you go out and tell other people about what you're doing, you say to them, my flexi-time job pays me 3 times my day job. You can't say your only job pays you. You've got to say your second job, your flexi-time job, your part-time job is paying you 3, 4 times more than what your regular job does, right? That makes for a better story. Who believes that they can earn 100,000 Rand a month extra every month? You're just copying everyone else. Because I know, I've been in this business long enough and I've had a relationship with so many wealth engineers that belief can be a problem, right? For me to come to you and say to you that you can earn an extra 100,000 Rand every month, you probably look at me and say, he's selling a get-rich-quick scheme. Because it sounds unbelievable, right? Does it not sound unbelievable? But I'm telling you, every single person in this room has the potential to get there. Will everyone get there? Statistically, no. Does it stop you from believing that you can get there? Does it stop you from having the ability to get there? It doesn't. But I can't make everyone in the room get there. That is a decision of accountability that you hold yourself to every single morning. If you can go out and speak to someone about DuePoint, you can be a millionaire in 5 years. You can argue with me and say, well, it's just theory. You're just showing us some accountant's example, a projection. And it's true. I am showing you a purely theoretical growth model. But wonderfully, over the last 2 years, we've had wealth engineers that come into our business and exceed our growth model. Exceed it. They looked at this and said, 5 years to become a millionaire? I want to do it in 2. Do I stop them? I don't, right? I don't even know they've started. I see people on reports, names that I don't even know. I see people suddenly in 1 month jump to 3,500 rand a month in 1 month. I'm like, wow, who's this person, right? I only do my job up here on the stage. I'll support you if you want it. But each one of us have to make the decision on whether we want this or not. And so we've got wealth engineers that I love to bring up onto stage. Tell All Tuesday. We call it Tell All Tuesday. We invite wealth engineers. We find that report and we phone them and say, please, come speak to us. Send us a voice note. Send us a video. Or come to head office. Come tell people your experience of DuePoint, good or bad. We don't say to them, okay, what are you going to tell everyone? Okay, no, don't say that. We tell them, you've got a few minutes up on stage. Say whatever you want. Say whatever you want. We don't prep our wealth engineers when they come up onto stage. And so the first gentleman we had is Len Gau. He's from Northwest. He's been in our business for 5 months. Last month, the value of his channel was at nearly 5,000 rand a month. He did that in 5 months. He's brought 8 people. This little 8 here represents the amount of people that he brought in personally. But he's got 135 products in his business already. Remember I said I was going to show you an example of leverage, of the power of duplication? Right? He brought in 8. His channel sitting at 135. He's already earned 7,000 rand from us. 22 years old. Where will he be when he's my age? Right? We've got Sidwell. He's from Kempton. He joined 10 months ago. The value of his channel is also nearly at 5,000 rand. He's earned nearly 16,000 rand already. He's brought in 8 people like Len Gau, but his business has got 144 products in it already. We've got Donnie. Donnie's with us this morning. He joined us when we launched the business just over 2 years ago, right? The value of his channel last month was sitting at nearly 25,000 a month. He's got 1,300 products in his business. He brought 94 people in. Do you see the power of leverage? Guess what? Guess what the difference is between active income and passive income? Is that next month, Donnie can earn more than he was this month. I want you on Monday to go ask for your boss for a raise. Who would even dare to go ask their boss for a raise? For those of you, why not try? For those of you where the boss goes, okay, I'll give you 2%. Because we value you. We give you 2%. You haven't had a raise for 5 years. We give you 2% raise. Next month, go ask him again. I want a raise. He says, you're crazy. You say, well, DuePoint's doing it. DuePoint's doing it. I can give myself a 20% raise every month at DuePoint. If I work on it. You don't have to work harder in our business to earn more. Do you realize that? Donnie is working the same amount of hours that he did in February 2016 than he is today. But his income has gone up every single month since February, 2 years ago. That is why you work on recurring income, right? Because your income can go up and up and up and up if you work on it. We've got thousands of wealth engineers joining this business every single month. Everyone is running a different race. You have to decide what race you want to run. What do you want out of this business? How much is enough? How much inspires you to work on something every day? To literally work on something every single day. What would you need to inspire you to do that? We've got people that join the business and they do nothing. I don't interview those people. They don't do anything, right? We've got people that join the business, they do less than 3 plus 2. That's fine. It'll just take you a little bit longer, but you can still create recurring income. How much money do you need in a bank account to earn 5,000 Rand worth of interest every month? Do you know that? Do you know the answer to the question? How much money do you need in a bank account to earn 5,000 Rand of interest every month on that amount? That is the question you're going to ask yourself when you get to retirement. Because at retirement, you're going to look at your pension, and that money in your pension is going to pay out interest that you have to survive on from 60 until you die. Potentially 25, 30 years, 35 years. For the ones that don't smoke and drink, maybe 40 years. That's the question you're going to ask yourself. Right? You look at Len Gao, 22 years old. He's created income of 5,000 Rand a month in 5 months. That's the same as going to the ATM and printing out your bank statement and it's telling you you've got R1 million in your bank. He did that in 5 months. We need to think differently about the value of money. What is the decision we need to make this morning? Who wants to be millionaires? Oh, the one lady's already sleeping. Not everyone can be a millionaire. Who's willing to work every day to become a millionaire? Like I said in training this morning, I need a camera to take a photo of everybody as evidence of commitment, right? That is the decision. It's not about if you want. Everybody wants. The decision is, in your mind, realistically, have you decided, right, after this presentation, I can commit an hour a day to this business. I can work a bit later. I can work during lunch. Saturdays, I'm going to work Saturday afternoons. You have to be going through that process in your mind already, because that's the way you get to R1 million a year, right? Can you start thinking about that already? Where am I going to find time? I'm proposing to you, you have to sacrifice time. Time away from family, watching TV, watching sport, relaxing, all that time. I want it. I want it for DuePoint, but for you too. That's the decision we need to make. Joining is very easy. 7 minutes. Hop onto our website, do the application form. 7 minutes later, you're a wealth engineer. In 8 minutes, you can start connecting people. Read our code of conduct. That's very important. Apply yourself to this business. Can anyone become a mechanical engineer without going to do a mechanical engineer degree? Or at least doing some kind of learning around it, right? It's the same for DuePoint. Go watch our training. It's all available for you, right? For nothing. Set goals for yourself. Because the only way to have a plan, you can't leave this presentation and go, my plan now is to become a millionaire, right? You have to have a goal set in stone with a date on it. That's the only way you can develop a plan. And then the simple task of speaking to people. It's not complicated. You just have to speak to people. Get merchandise. It'll empower you to build your business more effectively and faster. People want to see someone credible in front of them. Right? This is part of the credibility package. If you've got business cards, right? If you've got a DuePoint notebook, the pen, you look credible. People trust you a little more if you're credible. It'll help you in your business. Join our YouTube channel. It'll tell you every time that camera goes live. 7 times a week, every single week. Opportunity to connect people. Opportunity to make money while you're sleeping. Download our mobile app. If you don't have a smartphone, I'm going to tell you now, you need to invest in a smartphone so that you can download this mobile app. The app tells you exactly what's happening in your business in real time. In real time. The moment someone looks at you funny, the app tells you. Right? Download the mobile app. It'll tell you whether you're making money while you're sleeping or not. You'll wake up the next morning, your channel would have grown. Your app will tell you that. We have regular Teamworks meetings. A Teamworks meeting is a meeting that you have with me or Brendan, and we will discuss your business. We will help you. We will discuss the pitfalls, the easy mistakes that you make. We will help the people that you bring into the business start duplicating properly. It happens in a Teamworks meeting. Right? Before, you could phone us, and you can still phone us and say, I want to set up my own Teamworks meeting, but we are now starting to hold mandatory Teamworks meetings or regular Teamworks meetings after our intro presentation every Saturday, except for the Saturdays we do training, which is today. So next week, Saturday, there'll be a Teamworks meeting straight after the intro, right? Make sure you come to it. Tune into the live stream. It'll be available all weekend if you can't make it. Intro presentations now every Wednesday night at 6:30. Before, we used to have something called movie night. We've gotten rid of movie night. Brendan's given me an extra night to work, right? So Wednesdays, 6:30 is another intro presentation every week without fail. Whew, I feel like we've spoken about a lot. I'm still going to tell you now about our XP Rewards program. The XP Rewards program is the cherry on top at DuePoint, right? The ice cream is creating the recurring income, but the cherry on top is our rewards program. When you have success here at DuePoint, not only will you start earning recurring income, but you get to enjoy rewards along the way. If you start out today, you will start out as a rank 0 wealth engineer. But the moment you earn yourself 1,000 XP, and you get XP from doing all sorts of things as a wealth engineer, intro presentation, bringing guests, doing home presentations, all the wealth engineer stuff that you do earns you XP. You can do that in 30 seconds. If you've got 4 products in your qualified channel, you suddenly become a rank 1 wealth engineer, and we give you a 55 Rand once-off reward. But as you start collecting more XP and your channel starts to grow, the rewards get bigger and better. There's a 20,000 Rand check waiting for you, a 50,000 Rand check. We give tools to our wealth engineers to help them build their channels faster and more effectively. Little USB stick, all our videos on there can plug into phones, tablets, computers, laptops, anything, right? At rank 7, we spent 12,500 Rand on business cards for you. Remember our discussion around credibility? Promise you, when you've got a 12,500 Rand business card that you drop onto the table and it goes, and then it shines light into the other people's eyes because of all the gold on the business card, your credibility goes up, right? It gives you opportunity to tell people what DuePoint is all about. At rank 9, we take you and your spouse and your 2 favorite children to our international rank 9 conference every single year for the rest of your life. When you get to rank 9, we will send a black Mercedes to come pick up you and your family at your house. You bring your passport, you leave your wallet at home. We take you to the airport, we take you into the business class lounge. You eat all the food and the cool drink in the business class lounge. You then get ushered to business class on that international flight, where you sit down in the front of the plane and all the poor economy class people have to walk past you. Right? They will even scowl at your 3-year-old sitting in business class thinking, ha ha, what a waste of space for a 3-year-old. And then we will fly this year again to Mauritius to a 5-star luxury resort. Not any 5-star, tier 1 luxury 5-star resort for 7 days, all expenses paid. Everything is paid for. You can clean out the bar fridge every single night, and we will restock it in the morning at no cost to you. And 7 days later, we'll get back onto that business class flight, back to home, black Mercedes, back to your front door. And you get to do that every single year with your family at no expense, year after year after year after year after year. Your children will not know what economy class feels like. Me, I'm not built for economy class. See, my legs are too long. They are. Some of them are terrible. You sit there, your knees hit the front, and then the person in front of you, the moment the seatbelt sign goes off, they put the chair back and my kneecaps shatter. Right? Get there. It is life-changing. At rank 11, we spend, I nearly forgot, we've got a video for you. Have a look at the video, and I want you to imagine your toes in the sand. Imagine that. That's what's going to inspire you every single morning.
All of your wind has gone, and all of the paths you've drawn have sunk to the ocean sun where no one can see. You stand on the dark embrace, cower the dreams you chase under the rust and blood. Don't let yourself give up.
There's no rush. It happens every year. It happens every year. There's no rush. On average, for someone who's working consistently in our business, it'll take you about 3 years to get to rank 9. We've got 3 rank 9s sitting here in the audience. Right? Go speak to them. Ask them if they spent a cent while they were there. Ask them what the resort was like, if it lived up to expectation. All that video that you saw there wasn't stock video. It wasn't the hotel's video. We shot every single scene that you saw there. We took the drone, flew it over the water. We took all the video, the interviews. That is what it feels like to be a millionaire when you go on holiday. Does anyone know what it feels like to be a millionaire and go on holiday? It's 9 ranks away. 9 ranks away. It starts with rank 1 where you get that little 55 rand. Take that 55 rand and go buy a little piece of cake and celebrate your path to rank 9. It's just a process. At rank 11, we spend $250,000 rand buying a brand new car for our wealth engineers. This has already happened. Right? It happened before we were even 2 years old. There are another 2 wealth engineers that should be getting a car in the next couple of months. Right? This is still the beginning stages. Our rewards program goes up to rank 28. What happens at rank 28 if you're getting a car at rank 11? A house? I always laugh at the one lady. She shouted out, "A new husband." I guess he's not coming on rank 9 with her. So this is what our rewards program looks like. It is available for everybody, right? You can get excited by the rewards program, and by all means, get excited over the rewards program. But more importantly is the returns program that creates the recurring income. Our rewards program makes you feel like a millionaire. The returns program actually makes you into a millionaire, right? So don't worry too much about the XP Rewards program. If you're a brand new wealth engineer, you focus on finding people. Don't ask even about the XP Rewards program. It'll happen on its own. It happens on its own anyway. Focus on finding people, because if you can find one person, you can find as many as you need to get to rank 9, right? We have incentives, increased incentive to motivate you a little more. In the month of May, if you can rank up in the XP Rewards program, there's an extra 10,000 Rand waiting for you, right? So as a brand new wealth engineer, if you start out in May, you only have to get to rank 2, which means you only need 20 products in your qualified channel. If you've got 20 products in your qualified channel before the end of May, you get an extra 10,000 Rand plus the 1,100 Rand that you're going to be earning every month going forward. For our rank 4s and above, we've incentivized them even more with 25,000 Rand. Over a 3-month period, they had to bring in 5 new rank 2s. So they only had to find 5 people in 3 months that got to rank 2 in their own right. If they could do that, an extra 25,000 Rand on top of the recurring income that would have increased by 6,000 Rand a month. So those are the 2 incentives we're running currently. On the 1st of June, there will be a new one, because we have a new one every single month, right? So be aware of those. Guys, my time is done. I think I've gone 10 minutes over. I hope it's been of value to you. You arrived to this presentation with hope in your heart that you would hear something that can set you free. That's all I can do. I can only put it on the table and say, here it is for you. You now have to then make the decision of whether it is worth your time, because we propose to you that you're going to sacrifice time for this business. You have to decide, is it worth my time? Do I really want change? Do I really want change in my life? I invite you to join us at DuePoint. Step onto this playing field and let's start playing, because I want 2018 to be a year for you that sets itself apart from any other year in the past. I want people to start creating legacy from today, right? Wouldn't it be nice to have your children one day look fondly at your photos and go, that's the one that changed everything for us. That's the person that changed us. Not the statistic of where majority of us go, that's the one that left us with debt. We don't want that, right? We have to do it for ourselves. It is a decision we make every single morning. I invite you. I will support you. DuePoint will support you. We'll collaborate to become wealthy together. So have a wonderful weekend, an even better year, and I'll speak to anyone who wants to ask me questions. Thank you.